Hey there, listeners. Today's episode is a preview of the Election Eve live show we did with Nate Silver and Clare Malone at the Comedy Cellar in New York City. If you'd like to catch the full episode, become a paid subscriber at gdpolitics.com. You'll also be able to watch the video there. And as a reminder, that's where we'll be live streaming election night results beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern on election night, November 4th. All right, here's the show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together and help me welcome Nate, Galen, and Claire.
All right. Did you guys see that New York Post story today? I want to read it to you. They said everyone's moving to Dallas if Mamdani wins. Fortune Investment CEO was quoted saying, "You don't sacrifice anything by being in Dallas versus in New York. From a business perspective, it's easy. From a lifestyle perspective, it's better."
He loves to drive.
Guys, is Dallas ready for us?
Has anyone here been to Dallas? It has Neiman Marcus. Home of
I
Neiman
mean,
Marcus.
It kind of smells like oil. I'm not making that up, right? Like a
like petroleum products.
yeah. It's like Denver smells like weed and Dallas smells like oil.
And what does New York smell like?
It smells like pizza.
Like
smells
pizza?
Pizza.
Smells like garbage. Let's be honest.
It's a little kind. All right, you ready to do this?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Hello and welcome to Election Eve live at the Comedy Cellar. I'm Galen Druk, and we are a sold-out show here tonight, so give yourselves a round of applause. Welcome. All right, do we have any Virginians in the house tonight? Oh, we have it. Do we have any New Jerseyans in the house tonight? Okay, a smattering. Do we have any New Yorkers in the house tonight? Okay, there we go. All right, well, we got a lot planned for you this evening, and joining me on stage to do it all is New Yorker staff writer Clare Malone.
Hi, Galen.
Hey, Claire. How you doing?
I'm good.
You got your beer?
I got a beer.
Guys, if you hang around long enough tonight, it's not my birthday yet. My birthday's on Wednesday. We might do birthday shots.
Galen is going to be 35. And he looks great.
Did you know that the government shutdown and I are turning 35 on the same day? I just realized that on the subway over here.
I also always think of you as like 26.
I know.
It's like you're stuck in time.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Like, in my mind, I'm also still 26, but my back doesn't think so. Also here with us is founder of 538, the Silver
R.I.P.
Bulletin, everything, RIP, and just data expert extraordinaire, Nate Silver!
Do you know the 538 brand is still available?
For purchase.
We talked to Disney about it, and they were like, "We refuse to sell to you because you were mean to us." I'm not making that up.
Wait, really?
Yeah. You can report that. I don't care.
Oh, well, someone tweeted
I
it out.
hate their guts, so yeah.
Someone here is going to buy
kinda
it then.
For any amount of money?
We didn't offer very much. Yeah. Because
It looks like
we would have paid more than we would have donated $538 to the Bob Iger Foundation.
Nate, it looks like you might need a little help over there. Do you want to push? You can push your mic forward, like like this.
I thought it was intentional. I didn't want it.
I don't think.
Or you
Undermine
can
implicitly.
standing desk the whole situation
Is
if
mine-
you want to.
is mine okay?
Yeah, you're doing just fine.
Okay.
But yeah,
I think tilt
it
it
might be a
down.
little high now. Pull it down a little bit. See, this is what producing Nate is like. The analysis is stellar, but sometimes like the technical aspects you really just have to fiddle with.
No, just go like this.
Maybe even just push the table back.
I'm trying.
Okay. All right. Good?
Plosives popping.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
We got a lot to cover tonight, so we're going to dive in, and we're going to start with, you guessed it, the 2025 elections. We have statewide races in Virginia and New Jersey. There's a ballot initiative in California, and I don't know if you've heard, there's a mayoral race right here in New York City. And also, by the way, millions of people around the country are voting in local elections. There are, in fact, statewide elections in Pennsylvania and Georgia, not for anything super significant. I guess Supreme Court state judges is pretty important. And the electric utility board in Georgia. So, get ready. Then we're going to move on to Guess What Americans Think 2025 Election Edition. And then we are bringing back a segment from last time we did this called Hot Take Hat. We got a lot of topics to discuss, but we're going to leave it to chance in terms of which ones we actually discuss. We don't have... I need a helping hand. Maybe Eli can come up here for that part of the show and help me out.
Is that Eli? Oh my gosh, the famous Eli. Readers.
A round of applause for Eli. Yeah.
We should explain who Eli is.
Yeah, Nate. Who's Eli?
Galen, you ruined the surprise.
Oh, sorry.
Because I have to be honest, I don't personally care that much about the Virginia or New Jersey gubernatorial elections. So I was going to call on Eli as my phone a friend. And now you've undermined the gag. You've undermined the suspense factor.
Okay, well, you can still do it.
Okay. Eli is my wonderful Silver Bulletin senior elections analyst. Thank you, Eli.
You're hiring more staff, aren't you?
We have 3 people now, counting me. We are hiring an editor in January. So that's 4. We have a Slack channel. It feels like real work half the time.
Wow.
Yeah, this does feel. I mean, honestly, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So let's get.
It's another day at the Comedy Cellar, like usual.
Okay, let's get to it. And Nate, I think I'm going to start with a question for you. We'll begin with the New York City mayoral race. According to the average at DDHQ right now, Zoran Mamdani leads.
Decision Desk Headquarters.
Zoran Mamdani leads by 10 points at 45%. Cuomo has 35%, Sliwa 18%. Underneath that is a lot of variation. Just today, the top-rated pollster in the country, according to Silver Bulletin, Atlas Intel, put out a poll showing Mamdani leading by just 5 points. At the end of last week, a minus-rated pollster, Emerson College, put out a poll showing Mamdani leading by 25 percentage points. Variation is oftentimes a good thing in the polls. It means that pollsters aren't hurting and just trying to land the right number when it's all said and done before the polls close. But a nearly 20-point difference amongst quality pollsters, and I want to ask a really technical question here, which is, stick with me, what the fuck?
So yeah, this is the opposite of what we saw in 2024, where there was a lot of herding, right? Where every single poll was Trump +1, Harris +1, Trump +2, Harris +2. There's more natural variation if you're truly taking a random sample of people than you'd think, right? If we knew the result was around +10, you would get in 600-person samples some +18s and some +4s, and even the 1 in 25 outlier or the 1 in 20 outlier, you're outside the margin of error 5% of the time if you're doing honest work. But look, traditionally turnout in New York mayoral general elections is rather sleepy, right? If you have the people who usually turn out in these elections, if you look at polls among people who have lived in New York for X number of years, usually people that vote very often, right, that group is fine for Cuomo, right? So Mamdani is relying on a lot of first-time, maybe not first-time voters for anything, but first-time voters in local politics. However, we actually had something called a primary earlier, and we saw that he had very high youth turnout. We have early voting data, which I think can be oversliced and overdiced and whatever else, but it would seem to suggest that the electorate is much younger than it was typically, and also turnout is high in what some people call the commie corridor in the Brooklyn brownstone, getting a Greenpoint. I don't know, probably where do you live, Galen? I guess I'm in the commie, yeah.
I think we all live.
I'm in the East Village. That's
Nate's
East
out
Village
here to
is.
dox Galen.
Yeah, I'm not telling anyone where I live. It's a secret, Nate.
What's your exact address?
Okay, but my social security number is.
But he does live in the commie corridor.
No, but look, I think the previous election result is important. Look, there have been misses of 10, 12, 15 points in New York. It's hard to poll people. We're busy. We're not just sitting around waiting for a pollster to call us. So the whatever 5% chance that Cuomo has on Polymarket is it's a real 5% and not just covering your ass. But
wait, what's a real 5%?
Look, sometimes prediction markets at extreme outcomes get a little funny, right? Where if the incentives are not set up right, they're getting better. Like Polymarket, for that matter, Kalshi, actually have lower transaction costs. You can actually trade out on the end of the curve. But yeah, sometimes people round down. I don't know. I mean, like, people often round down probabilities from 100 to 95 because they get rounded up by people mentally anyway. But like, it would not be insane for there to be a miss of 10 or 12 points, right? And if you say, okay, look at the most recent poll. I mean, even the most recent polls, though, there's not been a consistent trend toward Cuomo, or away from Cuomo for that matter, right? It's been about 15 points in the noisy average consistently for several weeks now, right? If it weren't for that primary, you'd say, well, maybe, you never know, maybe there's some shy Cuomo voters. They don't want to say they're voting for this guy who's been accused of so much shit, but they'll vote. But like, we had the same contests with 70% of the same voters in June, and we know that result of that was, and that to me reduces the uncertainty a fair bit.
Is there any? I mean, Trump just endorsed Cuomo, which is pretty funny.
Which Zoran happily tweeted out,
exactly,
right? I think,
it's. Well, but I mean, there's not really any kind of like October surprise for Zoran besides that video from 2023 about.
Wait, you didn't see him at the gay club Poppy Juice last night?
Really? I'm not on that Twitter. What?
No, there's no surprises. The man is. I mean, his final campaign tour of New York City is truly like you've never seen any. I mean, it's like if Eric Adams drank. That's kind of what it's like. But go ahead.
He went to a Knicks game, went to...
Yeah.
No, but like, I don't think, if you look at his favorability ratings, they're actually, if anything, like a tiny bit better than they were at the start of the campaign. Like, I just think fundamentally, Cuomo has not persuaded normie voters. And Zoran has like lots of people who dislike him, right? If you look at the favorability ratings, it's like 40% favorable, 40% strongly unfavorable, right? Strongly. All the people who are not strong, they tend to like him, right? The caricature that is presented, I think, is contradicted by this guy who's, energetic and affable and dresses well and smart on his feet, good-looking guy. Like, all this presentation stuff is not an accident, and I think matters a fair bit. And like, Cuomo is not a good messenger, and the fact that like you have Trump or Bill Ackman or whatever else, right? Like, these people are like not persuasive. I don't know. It's like the race. I'm not going to tell you how I'm voting, right? It's like the race to like negatively polarized Nate. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, they're not very appealing spokespeople for their message. And I think they maybe made the mistake of trying to make it about his personality, right? And like in New York, a lot of people probably know somebody like Zoran, right? Kind of somebody who's kind of hustling and smart and young and ambitious, and maybe gets a little caught up with a certain fashionable crowd or whatever.
I'm sure we'll get into this when we talk about the other races this year, but there also is just across the board, since Trump has started, just more of a voter willingness to say like that person made mistakes or changed their mind on things or they've evolved. Like Graham Platner is a more extreme example that I'm sure again we'll talk about, but there does seem to be Republican, Democrat, like candidates who have very, very imperfect things in their past, and voters will, if they like them or incline towards them, they'll kind of say like, I mean, I don't really care. And the candidate can really plausibly say, I've changed my mind since then, or I've evolved. And that stuff used to kind of, I think, play differently. And then the Trump era really seemed to change that.
I think in some ways Tuesday night is going to be a test of how much scandals matter. I mean, we're going to see that in Virginia with text messages about political violence. The Democratic candidate for Attorney General sent text messages basically promoting political violence that he's had to apologize for. We've seen some weird stuff in the polling, like, could he outright lose? What's the gap going to be? I mean, Cuomo is himself scandal plagued.
Yep.
I don't.
But the fact that he even jumped in, right? That was sort of seen as something plausible, right? That's something that wouldn't have happened 10 years ago.
Anthony Weiner never got in a race again.
Well.
Okay, wait,
Touché.
Claire, I have a question for you, which is, we are now almost exactly 1 year into the Democrats' 2024 post-mortem. It's been fun. How's
meaning a year after the election.
A year after the election. Democrats have been talking about why they lost for a year. And everyone, there's as many theories as there are people and blah, 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 blah. Everyone spent a lot of breath on it. A New York City mayoral race between a Democrat, an independent, and a Republican is probably not nationalizable, but no one's going to stop anyone. They've defunded the political analyst rigor police. And I think it's going to be hot take central. How will the New York City mayoral race play into the Democrats' 2024 postmortem?
Oh, okay, great. Well, I mean, first of all, there's obviously the media criticism of we all live here, we all want to cover it because we're all breathing it every day. But Trump also breathes it every day, which makes it nationalized. I mean, he's sort of taken, to put it nicely, Mamdani is like sort of a bugaboo for Trump, and he keeps on talking about, what he's going to do with New York, sort of not talking about, but foreshadowing what's going to happen in New York. So I think that does nationalize it. I mean, I think that the Democratic talking heads conventional wisdom has now coalesced into.
All right, that's the end of today's preview. Head over to gdpolitics.com to become a paid subscriber and listen to the full live show. It lasted close to an hour and a half. We shared our final takes on the 2025 elections. We discussed the latest new controversies, such as the demolition of the East Wing, Graham Platner's Nazi tattoo, and the Senate filibuster in a round of Hot Take Hat. We timed our takes no more than 3 minutes, and we played Guess What Americans Think Election 2025 edition in competition with the audience. Like I said, head over to gdpolitics.com to become a paid subscriber and catch the whole thing. Paid subscribers get about twice the number of episodes, can join in the paid subscriber chat, and most importantly, keep this podcast going. When you become a subscriber, you can connect your account to wherever you listen to podcasts so you'll never miss an episode. There's a link in the show notes explaining how. Again, head over to gdpolitics.com. See you there.